especially like through my development stage, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe, and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
Welcome back. You're locked in with the One Eye Scout Show brought to you by Tan TV, the home of independent voices and grassroots basketball. I'm your host, Kevin Howell, but tonight I am not solo. My man Phil Townsend,
Hey, hey,
hey, here
yeah,
he
Kev.
goes.
I'm here. You ain't alone tonight. I'm sitting here in my car. Had to pull over. You know how that goes, but I'm happy to be here. Locked in, and I'm ready to talk hoops, Kev. Let's get
Oh,
it on.
hey man, I think people should get their pen and paper ready for later on because when we hit that five guys that caught my eye, man, we were
Yes,
all
sir.
over the gym. All right, you already know this ain't for everybody. We keep it real. We keep focus on development and shine light on the dudes who grind. Big thanks to Tan TV who's been pushing the platform from day one. Let's go get it. Man, Phil, Gasso put together the spring championships in in Duncanville at the Duncanville Field House. You know, for those that don't know, we used to go up to the SWAC for most of that, and the SWAC has been sold. So Gasso found a new facility called the Duncanville Field House. And man, it was crazy this past weekend, man, because you had the first weekend of EYBL out in Phoenix. That's the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League. You know, and I was talking to my man Jay Fry, and he was telling me that Texas as a whole did not perform well in the EYBL circuit. They
Wow.
went they went 3 wins with 24 losses. So Big Texas gotta has to revamp, regroup, or do something before the for the next one in Memphis.
Wow, that even took in the Houston, Dallas area?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So that was Houston Hoops. That was Pro Skills in Dallas. That was Drive Nation in Dallas. Um, those are three that pop off right off the top um, for those three teams. But um, not all EYBL teams, not all Adidas teams, not all Puma teams attend every event on those shoe circuits. They have to play a certain schedule, and so they may not be like EYBL may not be in Phoenix, which was the case this past weekend. So we got to see some showcase matchups, man. There was Dallas Mustangs versus Texas Impact 16U. And so these are really two freshmen going to be juniors playing up. And there was Terrell Jackson, and we got to speak with him at the USA minicamp. That was a tall fella. He goes by It's Him Red on Twitter. But with
Mm.
that, man, and we're kind of rolling into our five guys portion. And like I said, somebody's gonna want to get a pen and paper. But right off the bat, I walk in and I talk to Mike Timmons with Gasho, and we start looking around the facility, and he puts me on. He said, here's those 228s, man. So it was Terrell Jackson, but the other guy was Xavier Worthy. And man, when I tell
Oh,
you, Xavier is 6'9" and has a body already. He's out of Louisville High School and playing with Texas Impact. But man, Phil, the young fella has some discipline and patience. I watched him get pump fake, pump fake, pump fake, and block a shot. He didn't leave the floor until the offensive man was putting it up there. You know, and that normally, man, that takes a while for bigs to get that. And I took a moment afterwards at the end of the day just to chop it up with him and just tell him, how really impressive that is for a young big fella. Um, our friends over at Arnold Elite, Chase Hill,
Oh,
our grandson, yes,
Kev, hey, can you just kind of mention that last name?
Chase Hill, Chase Hill, and somebody's gonna recognize that last name.
Yes, sir.
Grandfather was the great Bob Hill, who coached the Spurs um, until Tim Duncan, until Tim Duncan was drafted, and Coach Pop fired him. You know, um, I'm not sure if
That,
that's how it all went down, but that's the way I remember
that's hey, look, that's
it.
close enough. Uh,
uh,
'cause- yeah, yeah, that's not too far off
no,
now.
I
That's
don't think
all.
so. But Chase at 6'6" can really stroke it, man, from outside. He's probably one of the better shooters in the greater San Antonio area. Um, I'd put him up against Logan Gonzalez from over at Cibolo Steel. Like he's that kind of shooter, especially when he gets on the road. Um, and that's common for most shooters. But he's got a really high IQ. You know, Chase's dad is the women's basketball coach over at Trinity, and so he's got
Yeah,
basketball through and through. Um, and he plays for a coach that does a great job of developing guys. And at Coach Arnold, at Arnold Elite, you know, um, one of the doghouse guys out of on Jamal Sheed's 16U team, Jamal Shedd's 16U team, big 6'6" wing. His arms are as long as his legs. He is tall, and he just gets after it, man. He's out of East Central. It's Will Franklin, and but man, he shoots, he rebounds, he defends. Really, man, he does whatever the team needs to be done. And talking with Coach Jalen Shedd, who runs that organization for his brother. Uh, Will's coming along really nice, and Will feels like he's in a good spot. He feels like he gets a chance to grow.
yeah. I know you really love his arm
Mhm.
length, and you know that's a big factor. What look whether you're playing basketball or going to the next level in the NFL, that arm length carries a lot
Yeah,
to it. Yeah, and these guys have some nice height
Mhm.
to them. That's what I
yeah,
like.
and outside of Xavier Worthy, these other four guys are San Antonio guys, and we've already talked 6'6", 6'6". Mason's gonna
Yeah,
be 6'6". Well, the third guy is from Forney, so the last one's from Forney. But no, man, we're talking about some San Antonio kids that are really performing well. Um, the next one, you know how I feel about Mason Thomas. I think he's the most under recruited kid in San Antonio that needs to get more looks. And you know, Mason had Air Force Academy come and visit him today, visit the Piper program. So he is grabbing headlines. But something, man, that gets missed is is his shooting, man. At one point this spring, the young man was 13 for 16 from the 3-point line. You know, hey,
mm.
and if we can we go ahead and pull up the five guys that caught my eye over there on the presentation screen? Um, and that kind of gives us a breakdown of the guys. Um, there's Mason 3D Empire. Um, but the last guy, our friend Ducky in Dallas, man, he loves him some Prince Ellis. out of Forney High School. And I tell you what, young man, 6'2". He's long. He plays a lot of point guard for High IQ, which is the name of his team. And I asked him how long he's been playing point, and he said, "Man, in high school I was playing the small forward." So he runs the point guard for that High IQ team. He's an unsigned senior. So I really think he'll be a combo guard or a wing at a D2 school or such. Um, but he's a tough competitor. But the biggest thing, the dude is a leader, and that's what I like to see.
Do you think that you just mentioned about what he does with the
Mhm.
school? He mentioned he does with the school and how you feel he'll project. Do you think that these guys are getting a chance to showcase their natural positions now doing the basketball that
You
they're doing
know,
now?
and Will Franklin and Chase Hill, they both are in off basketball teams that really programs that are coaching with their strengths in mind. They're able to present themselves. Prince is one that we just discussed. He didn't get to. Um, Xavier Young, being that I just saw him, and I'll catch him during the school year to be able to talk a little bit more about him. But Mason Thomas, yes, for sure. You know,
Cool.
Mason, I think, is feeling, in his own words, confident. Um, it was a kind of a breath of fresh air, probably a move at the right time. He was with SA Future and decided at the beginning of this spring that he was going to go a different route. And man, that the coach over there, I love the coach at 3D Empire. He used to be at Incarnate Word with even as late as last year. Um, he decided to go back to the AAU in Dallas and wait for another opportunity. Um, but man, he does a great job with those guys. Um, you know, that's a strong group for to be our first five guys that caught my eye of the summer. You know, um, but what was cool, man, is I went there on Saturday, left
Uh huh.
5:30 in
Uh
the
huh.
morning Saturday, got there for my first game 10 o'clock, and man, we went till 10:30. Uh, is when I got back to the motel and got a good night's sleep. Got up the next day and had already made plans to drive to Kilgore because Kilgore had a prospect day. Um, and I went out there, man, the gym was full of guys. It was an invite only opportunity. I think there were, I think I counted 32 was the count that was there. And some of those guys, man, they some guys looked the part, some guys, looking for a shot. Some guys got there and you could tell they were scared. They were just in a different element. Um, Kilgore is a uh, very dominant program. Coach Bird does a great job of recruiting out of Houston. He got the two twins, the Shannon twins, out of Allen High School this year. But I wanted to go meet him, and I wanted to meet him for a specific reason. I wanted to know uh, what he sees out of Houston kids and out of Dallas kids. 'Cause from an outside perspective, I want to get the chance to talk with him. We'll talk again soon about what the difference is. And, you know, so they start off the day kind of like they do at JC's. I like the structure about it, but they did what I call take their leg drills. You know, they did a lot of
Oh,
fundamental
okay.
things and attacking the basket different ways. shooting a lot of reps, um, a lot of small group, small. They broke them up into four groups, so it was a lot of running around. And then after they did those drills, they scrimmage, and just so people understand, on one end they're doing passing and driving to the basket. On the other end is just pure shooting three pointers because that's kind of the direction of the game. If you don't have a jump shot, you're gonna struggle, you know. Um, so then we move from that, get some water, and they set up teams of six, and they start scrimmaging. And the scrimmages are for 5 minutes or to 7 points. And no, it was 11 points. All right. And the reason I say that is because the first games, man, were like 11-10, 11-9, really close games. But
Right.
conditioning is such a huge factor. And guys do not understand that, with these type of events, even if you're a marginal player, but you're in excellent shape, at the end of the workout, you're going to be excelling where other people are fading. And when you show up out of shape, it's hard to evaluate because you know you may be going along, you may get a second wind, make a few shots, and then that wind goes, and now you're struggling again. Um, so guys need to know that when they come out there, they got to be in the best shape of their life. To be quite honest with you, and
Right. It's now that's one thing. We're not even talking skill, Kevin. We're talking if you can't get up to speed and come in when you're showcasing yourself like that and be in shape, that's telling a little story
oh
right
yeah,
there.
because it didn't cost nothing to put us tennis shoes in the asphalt, you know, and you show your level of maturity in that way. But here's the visual that I really want to share. So I feel blend probably cost an average student between 7,000 and 8,000 per semester. Okay, with room, board, and those numbers could be inflated. All right, but you're playing for a scholarship. So you're playing for 8,000 on one semester plus 8,000 the other semester. Uh, no, I was wrong. 8,000 a year. So you're playing for a 1 year deal, $8,000, and you're playing for a 2 year deal, $16,000. So visualize that in the middle of the court, there's $16,000. Toughest man wins. Toughest man takes home the money. You're going to tell me that there's a conditioning problem at that point? Because that's exactly the opportunity that is out there. And guys,
Yeah, we know coaches are looking, Kev.
oh
We know
man, that
that.
and the thing about it, man, is guys don't understand is coaches are looking for a reason to not recruit you, and you make it easy when you're out of shape. You know, so we're gonna roll into what might be my favorite segment coming up. Um, I did want to show um, the opportunity at Kilgore. My wife is a big dance um alumni from Tyler Junior College, and the Kilgore Rangerettes are one of their rivals. So I went by and looked in on the Rangerette Museum. I've been through the Apache Bell stuff with her, so that was pretty cool for me. But my favorite segment coming up, man, it's called "The Scout is Eating Out." So what's what's gonna happen? Huh?
So, Kev, where is that? Where
It's
did you
called the
eat?
jalapeno tree. And man, I thought that it was like a one stop shop. Like there would be only one of them, And in doing my little research, I found that as of 2025, the jalapeno tree operates 15 locations across East Texas. And man, we're talking from Tyler to Jacksonville all the way to Athens, man. And so there's multiple opportunities for you to stop. And and you know what their slogan is? Crazy good Mexican food. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. All right, so I get my menu and I look down and they have a chili relleno. That's where I kind of see what I think about a Mexican restaurant by the chili relleno. Okay, and I look down and I'm thinking over to the side it says you can add an extra one for $3.29 or something like that. And I said, you know what, big country, you never get full off of one anyway. So let's just add the second one on there. Phil, I ate the first one, man. I was about to bust at the seams. But
What?
valiantly, I overcame and choked down the second one. But man, it was a really neat place, man. They have an outside area where you can like drink beverages. They have a bar area. They show basket. They were showing basketball at that time. You know, it's a really neat
Yeah.
place. Um,
That look. That's why you want to roll
hey
with
man,
the one-eyed scout, because he's going to get you to a food
gotta
place.
eat, man. Gotta eat. But but no, and I think that it was easy to get to. It wasn't too far from the campus, and that little sauce to the side you see underneath the sign, man, that's kind of like you see it was sour cream and ranch and pepper and zesty, and man, I really liked it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was really good, man. Nothing but 5 stars for that place, and
Cool.
but see, man, you know that's really it for this episode, Phil. You know, we got our games in, we got our five guys in, we got our food in, and I just really appreciate you joining, man, and I really appreciate the players for grinding out there, and shout out to the coaches, high school coaches, AAU coaches, opening doors for people, and I appreciate Tan TV for giving us the opportunity to to showcase some of this stuff.
Well, Kevin, I'm going to second that about Tan and Vance Bradford, the COO of Tan, for just getting a platform to showcase Texas basketball, from local gyms to, across the
Mhm.
nation. And especially when, somebody like Vance still probably has nightmares from his inability to really get to play in high school. Uh, you know, for him to, suck it up and do something like this is fantastic.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, and like we tell Vance, it ain't for everybody, you know. But
Yeah. Well, that's what the coaches told him too.
no, man, I just want to let people know, man, we've got these sharp looking one eye scout shirts, merchandise
That's
that's
awesome.
dropping, um, and so. Um, and we're gonna have some other things going. So be on the lookout for the opportunity to purchase those. And thanks for coming out, everybody. Keep working, stay grounded, stay in the gym, and the eye is out there to find you.
All right.
Said I was just like how family got seen, you know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, like, freshman all the way to senior year, I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt from Chronicles of the Hardwood here on TAN TV. This Saturday, we're going to be talking about players shout outs in the national and local scene.
Hey y'all, it's Key from my show, The Key to.
Hey everybody, it's Coach Coop from Chronicles of the Hardwood. Make sure you tune in on Saturday at 10 TV. We got a lot to talk about. We're giving spotlights from local, national, but we're giving spotlights to people that may not have been.
This is Coach Abbott, head coach of Southwest Legacy, home of the Titans, and you are watching TAN TV.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Coach Kiso, man, from Chronicles of the Hardwood on TAN TV. Episode number 5 is out, man. Make sure y'all tune in. We're going to be doing some player spotlight, man, mentioning a whole lot of players nationally and locally. So
Hey y'all, it's Key from my show, The Key to.
Ladies and gentlemen, I keep telling you, bro, these kids nowadays, they eating a different type of Frosted Flakes. I told y'all this before. I didn't eat that cereal because I wasn't doing this at his age. I was watching Bob the Builder, Little Bill. I was not getting to the lane, big body, and laying it up calmly. I didn't do it. I didn't lay it gently like this. Look at this, get in the lane and one. Ref, call the foul. Look at buddy, get by you. It's easy for me. Let me lay it up gently. That boy chewing gum like this is nothing. Look at him. Get back on defense. Do what I tell you. That boy out here carving these dudes up like Halloween.
Especially like through my development stage, like, freshman all the way to senior year, I just wish I would have been on that side of town.